Meeting of the New Gloucester City Council will come to order. I welcome the administration,
Just tell
the audience,
Rock,
and the rest of the council.
no, give you the,
With that,
add it in for you.
the roll call.
Down-
All right,
down
Mayor
below.
Cook,
Yes.
And then
Councilwoman Grove,
Present.
code,
Councilman Bond,
code,
Councilman Shammy,
and
Councilwoman Wright,
Here.
Councilman Lindsay, and Vice Mayor Eggleston.
Here.
All 7 present.
And then we'll have the invocation by Chief Trustee.
Fellow Lord, we thank you for the day and thy many blessings and many favors. We pray that you please be in this meeting. Let thy perfect will be done. Bless our troops, our first responders, and their families. In Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. With that, I need a motion for the minutes of 2:18.
Councilwoman Wright,
Here. Yes, yes.
Councilman Lindsay,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Eggleston,
Yes.
Mayor Cook,
Yes.
Councilwoman Grove,
Yes.
Councilman Bond, and Councilman Shammy. Accepted 7-0.
With that, then, special meeting of 2:24.
So moved.
Councilwoman Wright,
Yes.
Councilman Lindsay,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Eggleston,
Yes.
Mayor Cook,
Yes.
Councilwoman Grove,
Yes.
Councilman Bond,
Yes.
Councilman Shammy.
Yes.
Anybody have any communications? Other than I got an envelope here, which has a CD-ROM in it, and I don't know what it says yet. So I'll look at it. It says, Ohio Edison Company, Cleveland Electric, and Toledo Edison. So Blue Ridge Auditors Report. So I'll look at that in the next couple of days. No communications. I guess we'll go to Mr. Kitco.
Well, good evening. Thank you, Mayor, members of council, member of our public, and I guess on YouTube. Departmental reports will be on Monday, March 17th. With that being said, Mrs. Harris will be running that meeting for me. So if there's anything after tonight's meeting or anything through the next week or so, any council member has questions, I'd like to, field anything prior to that meeting. So hopefully I can give her a smooth meeting with that. So under B, informational items, discussion topics, community cleanup. We were looking to set the schedule for the community cleanup after the community garage sale, but after about the last 3 to 4 years, we have limited participation with the community cleanup. So I pulled up the Rumpke flyer just to kind of see if maybe this might be helping us. You're allowed 3 bulk items each week at the curb with Rumpke. So, I mean, in theory, you can get rid of 12 mattresses, 12 chairs, couches, whatever from people. So we're thinking about really promoting this and maybe foregoing 1 year on the community cleanup because we didn't even fill a roll-off dumpster the last 2 years. So maybe the 2 years combined, I would have filled up 140. Wow. So I'd like to get your input on if you think that might be just go 1 year, really push, it's free service for Rumpke for that. Sounds like a plan to me.
Go ahead, Mr. Paul.
I guess my only question is, has Brian had any input as far as like properties that he's seen that are like, okay, really need help with the cleanup that Rumpke can't take care of the stuff or anything like that? Or?
I know Rumpke can do some, but we have talked. The big thing about a cleanup is, one, we don't really have any right now, but if it gets to that point, usually we're doing a cleanup or something and disposing of it. If he were to hit a property with a violation notice and an abatement right at about that time, that would be the only way. I think, you'd be close enough to where, okay, we'll give you an extra 30 days because we got a community cleanup coming. But we know now with the abatement, adding this in there, hey, just, you can put some of these bulk items out there. You don't have to haul them in a truck or anything like that.
Okay.
Okay, moving down to,
Hang on.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had a question. We had a lot of trouble with Waste Management and the pickup of those bulk items. They'd sit there for weeks and stuff. Is that not an issue with this company? Rumpke's doing much better?
Not that I've heard of, but what I can do is give Rumpke a call,
I've used it myself, living in the city, and every time I call, it's been no problem. All they ask is what the item is, and they say what you need. Like if it's a mattress furniture, I'd have it covered in plastic, but other than that, everything I've asked be picked up.
That's good
No
to
problem.
know. Yeah,
and Waste Management was monthly,
yeah.
where Rumpke is every week,
Oh,
which is
okay.
big.
I didn't know that.
I'm confused on whether you're supposed to call or not. It says on there you don't have to call.
You do.
And when I did the cleanup, I asked, and they said, yeah, call. And then when I talked to somebody else at Rumpke, they said, no, you don't have to call, just set it out there. So I was confused.
Residents do not need to call ahead to schedule bulk pickup.
Oh, wow.
That's what I thought it said on their thing.
Yep, it's right on the current 2025 flyer.
Okay. So I've had different people tell me different things, so I haven't had to put
We'll,
anything out yet.
we'll push this out a little bit on the site, really well, actually, I think we put the bulk pickup thing in the upcoming newsletter as well. So that'll be huge.
That's awesome.
Under Mayor's Court, you'll see there was a flyer in your packet. The clerk of court sent this over to me. Basically, this is the last resort. So we've already done our communication. We've worked with the citizen through various steps. All of a sudden, we finally got to send them to the Mayor's Court. They were not showing up for Mayor's Court. So the Mayor's Court just passed Wednesday, and the one coming up next Wednesday, there were a number of code violation non-appears that she had called and said, here is the letter. Our records indicate that you failed to appear in New Carlisle's Mayor's Court. You are hereby being summoned to X date and time before the magistrate. Court is located. Failure to appear may result in the following actions: a registration block and/or bench warrant for failure to appear. So the ultimate last resort, when they said, hey, I got this letter, I'm still not showing up, or they call and say they're scheduling, and they're still not showing up, then either one of those two things can happen.
All right, question. Court is located at,
This is just
it's a rough draft.
the letter is completed, but she makes changes all the time.
All right, let me ask this. Is this being sent certified mail?
I'd have to ask Christie. I'm sure whatever she has to do legal is all being sent however it's supposed to be.
Okay. All right, anybody have any other questions on it? Go ahead.
Let's see, moving on down to, where am I going here? Tiff's coming. Gastineau Field lease. As you have heard, Mr. Franks had passed away. The lease for Gastineau Field was under the Dayton Diamondbacks, and he was the manager for the Diamondbacks, which is a part of the Dayton Adult Baseball League. I have gotten quite a few calls, one that wants to keep the Diamondbacks as the leasee, the Dayton Adult Baseball Association that houses the Diamondbacks, because they're trying to schedule now, so they're in limbo, to keep it that way. Then I've had some calls from local. So one of the things we were looking at is, obviously there was a lot of time and monies put into the field by this private individual. And I'm going to communicate with the Adult League and see, or they want to just continue what's going on and keep that field going until they no longer want to do it. But I wanted to get council's input. My recommendation was just keep it as it is. And then if something happens with the Diamondbacks or the league not taking it, then we would open it up to possibly any one of these other select, or even the NCBSA possibly looking to do it.
Any comment? Go ahead, Ken.
plan.
Are they going to maintain it?
Their goal is to keep maintaining it. Will it be in the pristine condition that it is that Mr. Franks kept it in? I don't know if it will always be that, but it'll be in probably good condition. I mean, he lived and breathed that field more than probably anybody will, or did.
Anyone else?
Okay. Upcoming legislation, just got an email for some legislation that ODOT needs that will be coming to you soon. It's a local match agreement. This wasn't on your report before, but it's our local match for our decorative lighting, converting these from high-pressure sodium to LEDs. So they just need to know that, obviously, we've been committed for 4 years that we're continuing that. It just has to be in a ordinance form, so that will be coming. And that is all I have on my manager's report. I can entertain any questions on it or anything else going on with the
Skip
city.
over that city pool and police levy.
I was going to update probably to end, with the police levy, I can tell you, everything is submitted. We should have an answer. Today we got our portion in today, back and forth. Everything should be with a verdict by March 21st. So within the next couple of weeks, we should have an answer.
All right, how about the city pool?
I don't have an update for the
okay.
city pool part.
All right. Anything new on the columbarium?
We are still working on design.
Okay. All right, anybody have anything for Mr. Kitco? Go ahead, Bill.
Been getting complaints that somebody told me that we should rename the city Pothole City.
Oh, in the old section of town?
Yeah, they're on, the different roads, it's all tore up, and I kind of laughed at them because I thought they was joking, then I found out they wasn't joking. I go, when they get done, we are going to blacktop it where they're dug up. They said, well, why not the whole road? I said, well, because next year AES is coming through and they're going to dig it up again. So when they get done getting their stuff in, then we're going to blacktop the roads. I said, it'll probably be, what do you call it, a peel and seal or something like that?
Mill and fill.
Fill and fill. And I said, it'll probably be that. So you're just going to have to suffer for another year. But once they get done, things will be blacktopped or whatever they do to it, to where it isn't a pothole anymore. It'll be smooth. But I have noticed some of the lines are developing potholes. I don't know if it wasn't packed real good or people spinning their tires on it.
No, it constantly comes out. They were starting to do cleanup today and some prep, and they constantly put gravel in some. And of course, the laterals that are a little more sinking, they got to go in and touch those up as well. So it'll be a constant maintenance up until about mid to late April.
Okay. I just thought I'd pass that off to you. Like I said, I kind of chuckled about it when he was telling me about it.
I got a couple phone calls as well, and I told them I'll get in touch with the person in charge of that stuff.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead.
Do you think we could put something in the newsletter about the construction in the old part of town?
We are.
Okay.
We had it in the last newsletter. This one, we'll talk about the finish, and then I'm actually trying to possibly do a simple letter, hand delivered like we did before the construction, about the possible, once I find out Center Point is 100%, that they'll be aware.
Okay. I just thought it would be a lot easier than you getting bombarded by phone calls.
Yeah, I've only gotten one, and it was a joke, but I'm surprised we got one like that, but they're all understandable. I said I would talk to the guy who decided to upgrade the water system, so, but, yep.
Okay.
Anyone else? If not, you're done, so no committee reports. Go ahead.
I would like to mention, we're working together with New Carlisle Library for the Easter egg hunt. So that's the city of New Carlisle, the New Carlisle Library, and some concerned citizens to do the Easter egg hunt. It's coming together well, and it will be the day before Easter, so kind of if you want your kids to come, make plans for that.
Is it going to be held at Smith Park?
It will be held at Smith Park, yeah. And we could use more volunteers, that would be great.
Did you get a permit for that?
No, do I need,
I know you haven't asked him.
okay, I'll ask him later.
All right.
Now we almost finished.
If no one else has anything more,
I actually do have one other thing.
Go ahead.
Sorry. The Second Harvest food truck is no longer coming to New Carlisle Community Garden for the lineup where you pick up your items. A lot of people, I think, know this, but I'm afraid a lot of people don't know this. The only place we can get food now is at the New Carlisle Pantry. That's at Bethel Churches United at 226 South Pike Street. It's Wednesdays and Friday. Wednesdays 4 to 5:30, Friday 12 to 2, and donations of food and money are accepted. You can try the Park Lane Pantry. It is only open one day a week. The rest of the pantries are closed to us because we're Bethel residents. So I just kind of wanted to give a heads up, even though I know not a lot of people watch, share that with people that they can no longer rely on the truck coming here. I don't know why. Nobody
Go
told
ahead,
me
Bill.
why.
You done?
I'm done.
I have a question on what Kathy said. I was under the impression to go to the food bank, you had to be qualified or do an application or something like that. Is that still true?
As far as I know, now, I've never done it myself, but I know of others who have. And all you need is the number in your household. Like if you have 3 people and you live in our city, then that's all you really have to tell them. You don't really have to say, I'm poor. The rule is, have you been hungry or have you worried about food? And if the answer is yes, then you qualify.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Did they give any reason for this?
No, they did not, and it really concerns me. We have a lot of people. There were 100 people in that line more often than not. And that's, they say to figure 2 to 4 per car, because they have kids and things like that. That's a lot of kids who aren't going to get food, and families. I don't know. I don't know why it happened. I don't know. I wish I knew somebody to talk to about it, but I don't.
Let me ask you the question. Does council feel like we should investigate, see why the,
I think it would be a great idea because it's just such a service to our community. I don't know. I mean, I did go for a neighbor one time, and it was great because I was able to share with 3 other families. It was like, that was really nice. But
well,
if
I've
you
been up there at
needed
the
the
garden several
stuff,
times when they
yeah,
came through.
there's tons
and
of people.
There was a lot of folks that were using that service.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Go ahead, Bill.
Who was behind bringing the truck in?
Second Harvest, I don't know what it all, it's
Okay.
like Second Harvest Food something.
I think that would be
They
Or
have
to make the phone
stopped
call.
all deliveries to Clark County, period. They do still deliver to like Champaign County and Pike or somewhere out there. I don't know where. I'm sorry. I'm just making that up. I don't know.
odd.
So I don't know. Something's happened and we don't know what it is.
Go ahead.
This is very concerning to me because it was in 2022 that we had over a 21% poverty rate, according to the census, or whatever. That was the update online when I did a bunch of research, and we're practically in a food desert as it is. We have an IGA. IGA is very expensive. Most people cannot afford it. We don't have like an affordable grocery store in town, and one IGA isn't enough for all these people in the city to buy food as it is. So I think even if we can't get Second Harvest Food Bank to come back, we need to find somebody else to come in, because this is a lot of families.
And our little pantry is very small. It really doesn't even have,
Okay.
if I imagine those people going through there,
And I agree with you.
that's
And
very small.
I've got to make a couple of calls tomorrow in regard to this matter, but it was not in regards to what you've got. I've got something else that I'm working on. But let me see if I can get any answers for us and bring forth at the next
I
meeting.
appreciate that.
Question,
Go ahead.
Mr. Mayor. There's a pantry over in Springfield, and I forget exactly where it's at. People from here could go there if they have transportation, I would assume.
Was that there on West Main, the,
I think so. I'm not exactly sure where it was at. It's right in that area.
all
Was
right,
it a
look,
drive-through?
I'm gonna make a
Yes.
call over there.
I
They've
think it-
closed that one too.
Oh, I didn't know that was
'cause that was a
closed.
big one.
I don't
Yeah,
know
that was
either.
huge. I mean, I don't know how many square feet they had.
Let me follow up on it, and we'll get back to you by the next meeting. All right, other than that, guess who's up? You got any comments?
I guess I can't think of anything now. Guess not.
All right. Other than that, I guess we'll go to resolutions and ordinances.
Alrighty, so 2 introductions and 4 actions tonight. Ordinance 2025-07, introduced on 2/18/25, public hearing and action tonight. An ordinance authorizing an agreement for the deposit of public funds with Park National Bank.
Second.
An explanation of this ordinance is to keep ongoing with Park National Bank, formerly known as Security National Bank, under Chapter 135, to continue to be a our city's public depository under Section 220.05 of the city ordinance and Chapter 135 of the Ohio Revised Code.
Any comment?
All right. Vice Mayor Eggleston,
Yes.
Mayor Cook,
Yes.
Councilwoman Grove,
Yes.
Councilman Bond,
Yes.
Councilman Shammy, Councilwoman Wright,
Yes.
and Councilman Lindsay.
Yes.
Accepted 7-0. Ordinance 2025-08, introduced on 2/18/25, public hearing and action tonight. An ordinance adopting the Boards and Commissions Handbook for the City of New Carlisle.
Second.
And an explanation of this ordinance is, working in conjunction with council and our law director and all the different boards. This is going to be the new handbook that guides all of our boards. And then there's, different things in there with applications, swearing in, different things that they'll be required to abide by when they hold their public meetings. And also, if approved, I know Mr. Moore is already working with the BZA and Planning Board to get their bylaws completed. Then we will bring a resolution in front of council for the bylaws of each board. And then we will do an all new swearing in, since it's all going to be new for everybody. So at some point, we try to get them all here at once. So one meeting, swear everybody in and make everything official.
Any comment?
Yeah. Vice Mayor Eggleston,
Yes.
Mayor Cook,
Yes.
Councilwoman Grove,
Yes.
Councilman Bond,
Yes.
Councilman Shammy, Councilwoman Wright,
Yes.
Councilman Lindsay.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I was thinking about something.
Ordinance 2025-09, introduced on 2/18/25, public hearing and action tonight. An ordinance authorizing an agreement for IT and compliance services.
Second.
In explanation of this ordinance, as we have in multiple years in the past, we have the Bridge Group who handles our IT services, our IT audit for our liability insurance, and it handles our day-to-day servers, technology throughout the city. The not-to-exceed price is still the same as last year. The only thing that changed, and I think this is because our cybersecurity insurance audit only happens once a year, and our NIST CSF audit happens once a year, where in the previous, they just had it per quarter. So actually, the one audit is an increase only of $823, and then the cybersecurity insurance audit is a $607 decrease when those in particular are used. But the unit rates, minimums, things like that, those are not changing. So really, that's the only thing changing in the whole contract.
Any comment?
Vice Mayor Eggleston,
Yes.
Mayor Cook,
Yes.
Councilwoman Grove,
Yes.
Councilman Bond,
Yes.
Councilman Shammy,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wright,
Yes.
Councilman Lindsay.
Yes.
Accepted 7-0. Ordinance 2025-10, introduced on 2/18/25, public hearing and action tonight. An ordinance authorizing an agreement with the Ohio Attorney General for the collection of delinquent debt.
Second.
And an explanation of this ordinance is to, again, work with the Ohio Attorney General in sending our collections for our delinquent income tax debt owed to the city and have them assist us in recovery.
Any comment?
Vice Mayor Eggleston,
Yes.
Mayor Cook,
Yes.
Councilwoman Grove,
Yes.
Councilman Bond,
Yes.
Councilman Shammy, Councilwoman Wright,
Yes.
Councilman Lindsay.
Yes.
Accepted 7-0. Ordinance 2025-11, introduction tonight, public hearing and action on 3/17/25. An ordinance establishing a moratorium not to exceed 12 months on new vape shops within the city of New Carlisle, Ohio. Ordinance 2025-12, introduction tonight, public hearing and action on 3/17/25. An ordinance establishing a moratorium on cannabis operations within the city of New Carlisle, Ohio. Other business, intergovernmental meeting, 3/31/25 at Heritage Hall at 6 o'clock. Sheriff and council meet and greet on 4/26/25 from 11 to 2 at Bow and Arrow, and open for any other discussions related to the city.
Is there any other city business?
Mr. Mayor,
Go ahead.
hearing no other business, I move to go into executive session to discuss the employment of public employee.
Hang on.
I'm sorry, Chief reminded me one quick thing. Tornado siren, we do have a severe weather alert coming. So typically, on the first Monday of each month, we will test those at 10 a.m. However, if we do have severe weather on that morning or coming later on that day, we will probably not test them that day. But we try to get it out on Facebook and the city website, but just FYI, anything else? All right, that's it.
My motion stands.
I have a motion to go into executive session.
Yes.
And a second?
Councilwoman Wright,
Yes.
Councilman Lindsay,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Anderson,
Yes.
Mayor Cook,
Yes.
Councilwoman Grove,
Yes.
Councilman Bond,
Yes.
and Councilman Shannon.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
move to go back into regular session.
Second.
Have a motion and a second.
Councilwoman Wright,
Yes.
Councilman Lindsay,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Eggleston,
Yes.
Mayor Cook,
Yes.
Councilwoman Grove,
Yes.
Councilman Bond,
Yes.
and Councilman Shannon.
Mr. Mayor,
Go ahead.
move to adjourn.
Second.
Have a motion for adjournment and a second.
Councilwoman Wright,
Yes.
Councilman Lindsay,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Eggleston,
Yes.
Mayor Cook,
Yes.
Councilwoman Grove,
Yes.
Councilman Bond,
Yes.
Councilman Shannon.
And yes.